The Nightmare is a documentary slash horror film about people's experience with sleep paralysis. Now, I've talked about sleep paralysis on one of my podcasts and how I experienced it when I was much younger. Sleep paralysis can be a really frightening experience. Basically, you will be asleep and yet wake at the same time. You'll hear noises, feel vibrations, see shadowy figures in the room. It's a very frightening experience, and the Nightmare tries to capsulate it in all of its glory. These are 8 different people's stories and what they went through, and how sometimes they even go through it now, how they dealt with it and how they got rid of it. Now, this film started off really strong. A lot of their stories are extremely plausible. The shadow men, the noises, the speaking to them. This is something that had happened to me when I was younger during my stage of sleep paralysis. Unfortunately, we get to this point where some of the stories do become so over the top that they're almost unbelievable. I do completely believe that these people have suffered from sleep paralysis. But then we get one man who, when he was 1, he seen aliens that tickled him, and these aliens were vibrating, tickling. As far as I know, you can't remember anything when you were 1 years old. In fact, he says it's his first memory. Kind of weird. Not to mention, he talks about other situations, how these giant, bigger monsters. His portion seems way more fantasy based than others, because a lot of them share common themes. Shadow men, hearing noises, hearing voices. Like 6 of them all share almost the same experience, while his was this weird fucking, like, aliens and demons, definitely different. And then another man's was more like a drug trip, which leads me to believe that maybe these 2 guys aren't as credible as, say, the other people, which unfortunately I have to take away from this movie, especially if these guys aren't credible sources for the documentary itself. I enjoyed parts of it that were enjoyable. If I had to grade it out of 1 out of 10, I would give it a 5. If you've had sleep paralysis or suffered from it, I would advise you to at least watch some of it. It's enjoyable in some parts, and some of the parts are very fucking fantasy based and just not as great. So yeah, it's 5 out of 10. The Nightmare.